This is the essence of the highest secret tantras, the all-pervading space of ultimate co-emergent bliss. It is also referred to as primordial wisdom, a state in which all phenomena have total perfection. To introduce this directly through the Guru's pith instructions is the approach of the great perfection. This is about advanced practice. When you directly see the nature of the mind through the Guru's instructions, conceptual notions are gone. Therefore, as a preliminary training for the Mahayana path of both sutra and mantra, shattering the shell of confusion surrounding the conditioned, this path of precise investigation is excellent. The essentials for purifying the mind can break through the shell of confusion surrounding conditioned phenomena. First, through the power of fine analysis, one destroys the marks of rising afflictions. Then, by comprehending the emptiness of the aggregates, one lets go of desires and hopes based on the three realms. Ordinary beings' marks of afflictions refer to mistaken beliefs, impermanence, happiness, self, and purity based on the five aggregates. Clinging to these misconceptions gives rise to afflictions. Simply put, this is the attachment to appearances. After one clings to an appearance, desire follows. In reality, appearances arise from our minds. First, through the power of analytical meditation, uproot the wrong beliefs in permanence, happiness, self, and purity that give rise to afflictions. These are all illusions. Upon realizing the emptiness of the five aggregates, attachment to the three realms naturally dissolves. In other words, when one recognizes that the five aggregates lack permanence, bliss, self, and inherent existence, one stops clinging to conditioned phenomena, which are like a burning house, an ocean of suffering, and an illusion. In reality, appearances are projections of our minds. Scientists have observed that our eyes continue to perceive appearances even after they cease. For example, when a light is turned off and our eyes are open, the image remains in our vision for a short time. The perception has continuity. Sentient beings cling to these illusory appearances, believing them to be real. This is our biggest deluded attachment. By progressing in stages, all conceptual notions are completely pacified in the state of emptiness. Not wishing for any antidotes or further relinquishing, one is freed entirely from attachment to all extremes. With the purest compassion beyond attachment, one travels in samsara without the slightest fear, like a bird soaring through dharmadhatu, and attains the supreme bodhisattvahood. After letting go of all desires and hopes towards the three realms, one realizes the emptiness of all appearances and no longer clings to any problem or antidote. Thus, one will be free from attachment to all extremes, and great compassion beyond attachment arises. This state is called the great desire. The great desire is not the desire we commonly refer to. In the Dharma domain, it means aspiration. The great compassion free from attachment. Great desire is a tantric expression referring to the great aspiration of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to liberate sentient beings. One fearlessly engages in the play of the three realms, like a Garuda soaring in the vast Dharma realm. Shouldn't we have great aspirations? Only with great aspirations can one fearlessly engage in the play of samsara. Before attaining this spiritual state, you won't dare to act this way. We may consider dragons powerful, but the Garuda can even devour dragons. It is even more powerful. Based on the teachings of noble masters, I have explained the important points of the three vehicles. which provide a thorough purification of mental activity as a preliminary for the paths of samatha and vipassana. By explaining the preliminary training for samatha and vipassana, the various methods for purifying the mind, the author imparted the essence of the three vehicles. You can read these verses often. While reading, you can receive blessings. Why are these methods the preliminary training for samatha and vipassana? The following two verses explain the reason. The more you are familiar with this practice, the more the afflictions will diminish. The weaker the afflictions become, the easier it is to practice samatha. As you deepen your practice of these analytical meditations, afflictions gradually weaken and subside. We haven't dedicated enough effort to the practice. As afflictions diminish, practicing samatha becomes easier. Over time, the practice of samatha will naturally become more and more effortless. After being refined by fire, gold becomes malleable and ready to craft. Similarly, once the mind is free from attachment, it becomes tranquil and can achieve samatha and vipassana. For example, when gold becomes malleable through intense fire, the craftsman can shape it freely. The merit of practicing this teaching. Imagine someone who diligently offers all necessary provisions to the three jewels, day and night, for 1,000 godly years. The recipient is the three jewels. The duration is 1,000 years in heaven. One diligently makes offerings day and night over such a long period. The offerings include all necessary provisions. The merit accumulated is certainly immense. It is said in the sutras that the merit of this generosity is immeasurably surpassed by the merit of even a moment's reflection on suffering, impermanence, emptiness, and selflessness. Upon reading this verse, perhaps no one would make offerings anymore, since offering for such a long time is not as meritorious as meditating on impermanence for a moment. Please ponder, why did the Buddha say this? We are fortunate to learn this practice. Those without such merit don't even have the opportunity to come here or practice it. If someone meditates on the four aspects of the truth of suffering, impermanence, suffering, emptiness, and selflessness, for only a moment, their merit immeasurably surpasses the former's. This illustrates the significance of the dharma. How wonderful it is. Many people cling to making offerings, but can your offerings surpass this? This person made all kinds of excellent offerings for 1,000 godly years. Yet, his merit cannot compare to meditation. The most sublime and supreme offering is to offer dharma practice to the Buddha. Since this teaching is the preliminary for all transcendent paths and the foundation of the path to liberation, the merit of properly practicing it surpasses material offerings by an immeasurable extent. We can practice this teaching throughout this life. Furthermore, we can cultivate bodhicitta. Practice this teaching with bodhicitta. It will be enough for this lifetime. Look at how immense the merit of practicing this teaching is. Don't be too greedy. Despite such immense merit, you don't practice it and still think it's not meritorious enough. You don't have such great fortune to cherish it. Despite encountering such an excellent teaching, you don't practice it earnestly. It is the preliminary for all transcendent paths and the foundation of the path to liberation. If you successfully practice it, you will succeed in every step afterward. If you fail to practice it, you won't accomplish any subsequent practice. At that point, Whether you meditate on the selflessness of phenomena or seek to realize the nature of the mind, you are nothing more than an armchair practitioner deceiving yourself. The sutras say that the merit of expounding the four Mahayana Dharma seals is equivalent to teaching 84,000 sections of the Dharma. Therefore, practice this teaching earnestly. The Buddha said in the sutras, if someone expounds the four Mahayana Dharma seals, it is equivalent to imparting 84,000 Dharma teachings. Therefore, we should diligently meditate on the four insights taught above. The four Dharma seals are: all conditioned things are impermanent. All contaminated phenomena are suffering. Everything is devoid of self. Nirvana is peace. The Sutra on the Questions of the Naga King Sagara states, if one receives, upholds, reads, or recites these four supreme teachings and understands their meaning, even with little effort, one will gain immense merit, equal to that of reading and reciting the entire 84,000 Dharma treasures. What are these four? They are: all conditioned things are impermanent. All contaminated phenomena are suffering. Everything is devoid of self. Nirvana is peace. Practicing the essentials for purifying the mind is practicing the four Dharma seals. Its significance is evident. If you meditate well on the points explained here, which encompass the key points of numerous sutras, you will effortlessly gain profound and vast wisdom and swiftly attain liberation. Without exerting great effort, one can attain the profound and vast treasury of wisdom and swiftly achieve liberation. Dedication of merit. By the virtue of this explanation, may all beings tormented by the suffering of this degenerate age meet this elixir-like teaching on non-attachment, and, through its power, reach perfect peace. The author dedicated the merit of composing this treatise to all beings tormented by suffering in the degenerate age. This is the current situation of sentient beings. They are so severely afflicted by suffering that they lose wisdom and rationality. Through the nectar-like teaching on non-attachment, which can free them from the suffering of samsara, may they attain nirvana that pacifies all causes and effects of suffering. This is also Buddha Shakyamuni's blessing. The Buddha said that in the degenerate age, he would benefit sentient beings through the medium of written teachings. The great masters have composed such treatises, and what we should do is practice accordingly. We don't need to search through the vast ocean of the Tripitaka, composed of 12 divisions and countless scriptures. If we were to do so, how long would it take? Just practice in this way.